You're on Triple J this morning, and we're chatting to Mike Patton. He has a brand new solo album called Mondo Cane. So you lived in Italy for a while. What were you doing there at the time, and can you speak Italian, fluent Italian?
Of course. I learned it while I was living there. I felt like it was my duty.
Sure.
I didn't want to be the ugly American. And I married an Italian lady. Been married to her for a while, and we decided to go try living there. And I was always coming back and forth because I still have a place here, and I just found it a little too draining going back. Every time there was a work or a tour or a record to make, I'd have to go back home, and it got a little draining, so I gave it up. But during that time, it was actually really exciting. I was learning about all sorts of things, living abroad and learning a new language, meeting a lot of new people, and discovering, new music. And during that time is when I kind of, my love affair started with this music, and, many years later, it's turned into this record.
A track we've been playing a fair bit here at Triple J, Mike, is Urlo Negro. Did I pronounce that right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm very nervous. What can you tell us about Urlo Negro?
What do you want to know?
Well, it's a civil rights song, isn't it? From the 1960s?
Yeah. More or less, yeah. It's by a group, a very unknown group that were kind of modeling themselves after, the beat scene in England during that time. And they were called the Black Men.
Great.
And I don't even know if they ever made a full-length record. I found this on a really obscure comp that a friend gave me, and I just loved it because it really had this, it had sort of a real punk edge to it, a real punk rock thing going on, and I immediately heard, like, whoa, if I ever get a chance to do this, I know exactly what to do with it. So, yeah, I think that goes for a lot of the songs that made it on this record. They kind of just hit me in a way where I felt like they were already mine, in a sense, or I could at least make them a little bit mine, and it's a tricky proposition because, I have a lot of respect for this music, and I did not want to, murder it, take something that's perfect, it's a scary proposition.
On Triple J this morning, that is Mike Patton when he had a chat to us.
We asked him whether he'd pulled up all right after the big Soundwave concerts earlier on in the year.
Gee, I don't know if we've recovered. I'm still sweating.
Yeah.
You rock too hard. That's a problem.
It wasn't the work. It was the freaking weather. The weather was ridiculously hot, man.
It was full on during that time.
But it was fun. We had a good time.
You're on Triple J this morning with Tom and Alex. We're talking to Mike Patton. And Mike, we know you've always got a few things on the boil, on the hot plate, but what's sort of in the pantry? What's the sort of big things that you'd want to pull out later on in life? What have you always wanted to do that you haven't been able to do yet? I mean, you've got Mondo Cane. You can tick that off. But what can you envisage for the future of Mike Patton at the moment?
I definitely have some records that I have in the can, and records that I need to write even, and things like that. But I don't have any large goals like I got to make a country and western record, or I just don't think that way. But I mean, immediate things that are coming up. Yeah, I'm finishing the score for this film, this Italian film called The Solitude of Prime Numbers. That I should be done with it in a week. And
are we holding you up? Are we delaying the completion of that?
We are.
Exactly. So doing that, and then I'm doing a Mondo Cane. I'm doing a bunch of tours this summer, including like a 10-day run in Europe with Faith No More, and then like a 3-week run with Mondo Cane in Europe. And when I get back from that, there's a few other things. There's a new project that I'm hoping to get done by the end of the year called Nevermen, and it's with Tunde from TV on the Radio and Dose One from this band called Subtle here in the Bay Area, and it's like a vocal trio, if you will. But that should be fun. And then in the back of my mind also, I'm trying to chip away at a new Fantomas record, and Dwayne, the guitar player from Tomahawk, has already started writing, so there's, a lot of things brewing. Whichever one comes first, I don't know. No promises.
Right, don't lock him down.
Don't lock him down. What sort of new music is taking your fancy at the moment? You're obviously into newer bands or up-and-coming bands like, TV and the radio have been around for a while, but did you see some stuff on the Soundwave tour, or what's across your desk at the moment, music wise?
Well, I mean, there's a lot across my desk, but not much of it is really new or current or quote unquote relevant. But on the Soundwave, I didn't have much of a chance. I mean, I saw Meshuggah, who I'd never been able to see before, and I'm a big fan of, so that was a pleasure. Gosh, who else did I see? I saw ISIS. Man, since we were playing later and all the stuff that I wanted to see was at like 2 or 3 o'clock, and it was so fucking hot, I just couldn't do it. So really, I kind of spent one day towards the end of the tour trying to run around, and yeah, it was brutal. But, who else have I seen recently? Oh, you got me on the concerts. You want to know what I'm listening to? Actually, there's a great Australian duo from Melbourne called Pivixki, Pivixki. I've been listening to it a lot and actually hoping to put it out on my label Ipecac, but doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it.
Did someone else snap them up beforehand?
But it's incredible. It's a piano and drums, but they're doing like a grindcore thing. So
how did you come across Pivixki?
I knew Anthony from Friends of Friends.
Right.
I think the time before one of these damn times I was down there, I called him up in Melbourne and said, "Hey, we should do something together someday." And he was nice enough to come meet me, and we hit it off, and we've been kind of flirting with each other ever since. He's actually in California now. We're trying to do a show, but I'm just too handcuffed with these studio things.
This is such a weird coincidence because Pivixki is my favorite piano drum grindcore group.
There you go. See?
This is insane. Mike, thanks so much for having a chat to us. It's a real honor to have a chat to you, and thanks so much for joining us from San Francisco. Your new album is called Mondo Cane.
Best of luck bringing it to the stage,
yes,
Mike.
Good luck.
As much as it was a challenge recording it, it will be a pretty challenging live show, I'd assume.
All right, man.
Thank
you, guys.
Cheers. Take it easy.
Cheers. You too. Bye.
That is Mike Patton on Triple J this morning. We had a big chat to him. The full chat will be up on our website a bit later on today, triplej.net.au/Tom and Alex.
Will we beep him out in the full chat online?
I don't know. We'll find out. And look, if you're a Faith No More fan, stick around. We'll play you a classic Faith No More track very shortly. News is up next after this.